Li Yixue was an ordinary woman. She lived a quiet life in Nanchang, a bustling city in China's Jiangxi province. She had friends, family, and a routine that brought her comfort. Li Yixue believed in the system. She trusted that it would protect her. She had no idea that her life was about to change forever. Li Yixue had always been a law-abiding citizen. She believed in the power of justice. She never thought she would become the victim of the very system she had placed her faith in. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. One evening, everything changed. Li Yixue found herself in a situation that no woman should ever face. She needed help, so she turned to the authorities, to the people sworn to protect her. Little did she know, this act of trust would mark the beginning of her harrowing ordeal. Her life, once ordinary, was about to become extraordinary, defined by a fight for justice against insurmountable odds. Fear pulsed through Li Yixue's veins. She had gone to the police for help, seeking their protection. Instead, she found herself facing a nightmare. An auxiliary police officer, a man who should have been a symbol of safety, attempted to sexually assault her. The very people she trusted had betrayed her in the worst way imaginable. Shock washed over her. How could this be happening? The weight of the situation pressed down on her, suffocating her. Li Yixue knew she had a choice. Remain silent and allow the perpetrator to walk free, or fight for her dignity, for justice. And fight she did. She reported the assault, clinging to the belief that the system would right this wrong. She believed that the truth would prevail. But her hopes were quickly dashed against the rocks of a system that seemed determined to silence her. Li Yixue had stumbled into a labyrinth of corruption and power, where the lines between right and wrong were blurred, and the pursuit of justice was a treacherous path. Li Yixue's pursuit of justice was met with resistance at every turn. The system, which she believed would protect her, now seemed to shield her attacker. Delays plagued her case. Evidence vanished. Li Yixue found herself navigating a legal system designed to discourage, to exhaust, to silence. But she refused to be silenced. Li Yixue persisted, her resolve hardening with each obstacle. She knew the truth, and she was determined to see it recognized, no matter the cost. However, the cost was high. Threats began to surface, casting a dark shadow over her life. Whispers followed her, painting her as a troublemaker, a liar. Her friends and family, fearful of the repercussions, urged her to drop the case, to let it go. Isolation became her new reality, a prison built not of bars but of fear. Yet, Li Yixue stood firm, her spirit unbroken. She would not be intimidated. She would not back down. Her voice, though choked by fear, would not be silenced. Section 4. Silence is not an option. Li Yixue speaks out. The weight of her ordeal pressed down on Li Yixue, threatening to crush her spirit. But amidst the fear and isolation, a spark of defiance ignited within her. If the system refused to hear her pleas, she would make it listen. Li Yixue decided to take her story public. She found her voice online, sharing her experience, exposing the corruption that had infected the system she once trusted. Her story resonated with others, ordinary citizens who had suffered in silence, victims of a system that seemed rigged against them. Li Yixue's voice, once a whisper, became a roar, amplified by the echoes of countless others demanding justice. Her bravery came at a cost. The authorities, threatened by her defiance, sought to silence her once more. Accusations of mental instability surfaced, a tactic as old as time, used to discredit and silence those who dared to challenge the powerful. Li Yixue knew the truth. She was not mentally ill. She was a woman fighting for justice in a system determined to deny her. Section 5. The walls close in. Forced hospitalization and isolation. Li Yixue's world contracted to the sterile confines of a psychiatric ward. Deemed mentally unstable for daring to challenge the authorities, she was forcibly committed to a mental institution. The label insane became a convenient weapon, wielded to silence her and discredit her claims. The walls of the institution seemed to mock her, a stark reminder of the power the system held over her. Days bled into nights, a monotonous blur of medication and forced treatments. The world outside, with its noise and chaos, felt a million miles away. Li Yixue was trapped, a prisoner in a Kafkaesque nightmare, punished for seeking the justice she deserved. Her voice, once a beacon of hope for others, was silenced within the cold, impersonal walls of the institution.